Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be using our Ninja Creami to make sugarless coffee ice cream. So you ready? Let's get into this. So for this recipe we need our silk whole fat oat milk, some egg yolks, a little bit of instant espresso, as always our monk fruit sweetener, and some vanilla protein powder. We're using Body Fortress vanilla isolate protein for this recipe. You know, come to think of it, there's one more ingredient that would work really well in this. I think I have some of that right in here. No, I don't need that. Hey, remember, if you want to make this recipe, all the ingredients and measurements are down in the description of the video, along with the calorie count, the protein, the fat, and the carbohydrates. So the first thing we're going to do is get out a small saucepan, throw in our egg yolks, and our monk fruit sweetener. Then we're going to go ahead and stir this with a whisk just long enough to get it combined and kind of smoothed out a little bit. You just want to make sure you don't have any speckles of monk fruit sweetener kind of floating around unmixed. And we'll just probably take about a minute or so to mix this up and get it combined really well to where it kind of just smooths out at least a little bit here. Okay, once you got it combined and it's looking pretty smooth, then we'll go ahead and pour in our oat milk. And we'll go ahead and combine this in here really well. Try to get that mixed as good as we possibly could. And once you're happy with that, go ahead and pour in the espresso grounds. Remember, these are instant espresso grounds, not just regular espresso. You want to take a little time to get this combined as good as you can. You might not be able to completely combine it without heating this up, but we're going to be doing that in a minute anyway, so just do the best you can here. And once you got this mixed in here pretty good, then we're going to start mixing in this protein powder. You don't want to mix it all in at once. You want to put it in a little bit at a time and then whisk it in. Otherwise, it's going to end up clumping and we don't want that. So put about a third of it in. And then you're going to mix this in here until it's completely dissolved here. Then we're going to add in another third. And we'll do the same thing, get that combined as well. And then we'll go ahead and add that last little bit in and stir that in just like we did before. You might have a few little bits here that don't quite combine. That's fine. They'll mix in a little bit better once we heat this up. Speaking about heating that up, let's go ahead and turn on our range and set this burner to about a medium heat, which in my case is going to be about a 5 here. Now we're going to go ahead and heat this up to between 165 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit. You're going to want to probably use something like a digital thermometer like this. If you don't have one of these, that's okay. You can heat it until it starts to bubble and then take the heat off of it right away at that point. But if you have one of these, it's a much better choice. You're gonna wanna stir this pretty frequently because you don't want it to burn or stick. Okay, so we're right at about 170 degrees, so it's time to take this off the heat and let it cool down. After you let that cool down, you can go ahead and pour it into your creamy pints, being careful not to fill it past the max fill line. Pop on the lid, then we'll go ahead and throw this in the freezer for at least 24 hours.
One eternity later.
Okay, it's been a full day, and our ice cream is ready. You can tell this is ready because everything in the creamy pint here is nice and uniform and light colored. Here's a good example of one that's about halfway done. You can see we've got the lighter color here and the darker color here. That means this still needs to be in the fridge for a little bit longer, maybe 4 or 5 hours. When I pull these out of the freezer, I like to let them sit for about 20-25 minutes or so, just to let them kind of soften up on their own a tiny little bit. That way they're a little bit easier to process and it's a little bit easier on the machine. All right, ready to process. What we're gonna do is remove the creamy pitcher lid, drop in our pint, lock the lid back on, turn on our machine, lock in the pitcher with the pint in it. And with this particular ice cream, you can either use the ice cream button or the light ice cream button. You'd want to use the ice cream button for more traditional recipes and the light ice cream button for something that's got less fat in it, which means this is going to be a little bit harder. We're keeping the fat content down a little bit, so it's better for us to use the light button. So we'll go ahead and process that now. By the way, this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Okay, let's check out our results. And that's looking pretty darn good. Let's go ahead and scoop this out and serve it. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about us, you can watch a couple more videos or you can visit us online at joesphenomenal.com. If you like coffee ice cream, especially one with a nice kick to it, you're gonna love this recipe. None of the sugar with all the flavor and all the smiles. Just one thing, don't eat it late at night because you'll be up watching YouTube videos until tomorrow. I thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your busy day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me and I can't wait to see you back again here really soon. So until that time, I'm Joe and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.